Hi, my name's Lee, and usually I like to do more fun videos and kind of get a laugh, but every now and then I do like doing a bit of a serious one. I guess you call it a serious one, and it's one which I've been wanting to record for quite a while now, and it's been one of those really touchy subjects for me, and it's kind of trying to, I guess you would say, build up the courage to talk about it. It's one of those things which it's really close to me, and I thought, well, in the mood isn't the right, but I actually want to. It's essentially going to be on about losing a loved one, and what I mean by that is not, I haven't actually had to deal with, someone dying, thankfully, but I've had to deal with it in a different way, in the sense of, my granddad, who I was very, very close to when I was little. Well, pretty much for a very long time until he got dementia. And essentially, what dementia is, if you don't know, it's kind of like a disease which essentially shuts down your brain very slowly. It kind of it's things like how you think and just kind of those sort of things. It's like how your memory, how you think, your judgments of things, and just simply how you understand things. So essentially what it is, when someone is diagnosed with dementia, I don't think there is actually a cure for it, and it's essentially, once they've got it, it kind of goes downhill. And this is something which something which I had to witness firsthand, and this is someone who, my granddad, who I, from when I was born, I looked up to him in every way possible. And so when we found out about it, it kind of really hit me, my sister, and my mum really hard. And obviously my mum, because it's her dad, and my dad obviously was affected by it as well, but not to the same extent. It's like me and my sister always looked up to him, and kind of always, every time he came around, would always run downstairs, and I'm probably gonna have to record this commentary in multiple parts. Yeah, I remember when it started to happen, as he'd start forgetting just little things. It'd start, we were told about it. Obviously, my mum came and told both of us that we were told it probably when we were, it's probably 4 years ago now, I think, 4 to 5 years ago, and it was just it was just little things. It'd always be, it occasionally just forget your name for a minute. It just those sort of things. It's just when you're telling him something, he wouldn't remember it. You'd have to tell him a couple of times, and at that point, it wasn't too bad, because it's dementia can come in different forms. It can come in they can just have it and they'll stay like that. But then usually what happens is you decline very quickly, and this is something which we witnessed, and it got pretty bad, as in it would go to the point where, I say, after a year or two of him having it, he would pretty much forgot all of our names. He forget my mum's name, his daughter. I forget me and my sister's name. I forget my mum's sister's name, so I'll see his other daughters. And there's one, the one time I remember, the one which probably really made me realize kind of what was happening, was one day he'd kind of class, you'd forget your judgments and your memory and such, and he'd wander out his house, and if you know of anyone with dementia, you probably have witnessed this. He'll kind of wander out his house and he'll kind of just wander around, but you do kind of still remember just little things, little areas and that. And I remember one day I was at home, and I was essentially told by my parents to try and avoid him, not in the sense of pretending he doesn't exist, but say if he comes round to our house, that I should kind of ignore, not answer the door or anything. This is quite a while ago now. I probably would have been 12, 13, and it's kind of, I wouldn't have really known what to do, as he kind of wasn't the same person anymore, to what I remember. And he kind of, I remember the one time he came round, he started banging on the door, and he kind of didn't know where he was, and like he kind of kept walking up and down the street. 'Cause I was like watching. He didn't know I was watching, and like, but I was told not to do it until like my dad came home from work and walked him back home. And like it was then when I realised kind of how badly dementia can affect people and what can be done and what it can do to them. And that was really the first time I realised, and kind of from then it gradually got worse and worse and worse, and it got to the point where he didn't really remember any of our names, and he does still remember every now and then, but like not really. And he forgets stuff like to eat and drink and all those sort of things. So eventually we had to put him in a home, and obviously if you have dementia, you small people's home, you have to go to homes for people with dementia because you have to be dealt with in the row, but like you have to have special care and watched over properly. And it was then when it really got to us, as like essentially he wasn't my granddad anymore. He was essentially just an old man, and kind of yeah. But I'm kind of choking up a bit. Since he went into the home, he went into home for I think it's about 2 years ago now, and I've never actually gone to see him in that. And it's not because I don't love him. Of course I love him, but it's because my mum still goes every few weeks, and she says that he's not who we remember, and in that sense, I don't want to see him like that. In my head, I want to remember him as I remember him, if that makes sense. So like, when I was younger, playing with him and all those sort of things. Like, I don't see why I'd want to get bad memories of him. It's like every time my mum goes, pretty much every time she comes back in tears, because he doesn't know her name or anything. Like he just doesn't know who she is anymore, and I haven't seen him in so long. He won't have a clue who I am, and none of that will kill me if I don't know what. Yeah, like the thing which hit me hardest was recently I went to my sister's wedding in Cyprus. All our family friends came out, and yeah, and it was fantastic. But the night before, like, I was talking to my sister. The night before my sister's wedding, I sent her a text, essentially telling her how much my granddad would have loved to have been there. It was something he always used to talk about when we were younger. Yeah, I sent her this text, and like on the day of her wedding, she played, because like my granddad's Scottish, and me and my sister, our mum is a little bit Scottish, my sister a little bit Scottish, but she played a song which my granddad used to always play, and at that point we kind of it kind of sunk into all of us that we've lost him now, and he isn't with us anymore.